First fold, this dough is a little drier, but because of the longer autolyse, it's nice and relaxed. So I'm going to be a little aggressive. This dough's nice and relaxed after its first fold, so now we'll add the salt. I want to keep the hydration right around 70%, so I'm only going to add just enough water to moisten the salt. The salt percentage is slightly higher. It's at 2 3/4%. This dough will ferment for slightly longer, so I want it to have just a little bit more salt to keep the fermentation balanced. All right, the salt's evenly incorporated. I don't feel any more grains in the dough. So we'll let this rest before we fold it again. We're about 3/4 of the way through bulk fermentation. Super relaxed dough. Just gonna give it another fold. It's really warm here in San Francisco today, so this dough is just room temperature. Feels pretty cool to the touch. This feels nice and inflated, so I think we're going to divide. The weight for these is 120 grams. That makes a nice size flatbread. Actually, we'll do 130. So the dough feels actually maybe a little underactive. So I think I'll probably have to divide or pre-shape once and then come back and pre-shape again. You can see there is quite a bit of fermentation going on, They just feel a little slow to me. So I'll pre-shape them, let them relax on the table for 20 minutes or so, come back, give them a feel, and then if they need another rounding, I'll do that then. These are relaxed, but I think they could use another rounding before they go into the containers overnight. So for the containers, I just drizzle a little bit of olive oil in. I do 2 flatbreads, 2 or 3 per container. Just evenly coat the container so the flatbreads don't stick. And then what I will do is round them again until they're really tight, and then set them in the container like that. On opposite corners so they don't touch. See, the skin is nice and tight. And voila, these have been fermenting for about 36 hours. So they smell pretty tangy, and as you can see, they've relaxed into each other, which is going to make getting them out of the bucket really fun. So I'm going to sprinkle a little flour on the board so they don't stick. And then to take them out, I'm just using a plastic spatula. Gently press it down, flour on both sides. And while I'm doing this, I have my cast iron griddle preheating. Just gonna make sure this is nice and evenly coated with flour. Just gonna roll it out. The rolling pin. And I'll pick it up and just kind of stretch it out the way I would a pizza. When I move it to the cast iron, I also lift it up like I would a pizza, right over my fists. Another way I like to go about making these is I just drizzle a little bit of olive oil on them instead of flour. I don't use flour at all. Take them out, stretch them out like I would a pizza. And then go right onto the cast iron. This gives it more of a fry bread texture. Here's the flatbread that I took out of the container using oil instead of flour. You can see it's greasier in a good way. also a little more delicate